Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome into Jacksonville, Alabama. The Gamecocks will turn to left-handed pitcher Dylan Hathcock to do that today. Hathcock is making his first start of the season. It's the first game that he's pitched in since last season on March 7th, 2020 at Eastern Illinois. He picked up no decision in the game, pitched 5 1/3 innings, giving up 10 hits, 4 runs, all 4 earned, with a walk and a strikeout. The starting lineup for Alabama State, they will lead off with the right fielder Cameron Hearn, a senior. Jabronsky Williams, the left fielder, will bat second. Trenton Jamison is the third baseman, batting third. Santiago Garcia, a junior, will be at the DH spot and in the cleanup spot. Chris Lewis is the first baseman, batting fifth. A.J. Gardner, center fielder, will bat sixth. Dylan Espinal, the second baseman, will bat seventh. Hunter May is the catcher, batting eighth. And Christopher de Guzman is the shortstop, batting in the ninth spot. And Dylan Hathcock delivers a first pitch strike. First pitch at 2:31 p.m. Hathcock working quickly, delivers another strike. This one an off-speed pitch, 76 miles per hour on the gun. And Cameron Hearn is in the hole, 0-2. Ball delivered to Hearn that time around. Hearn last season batted .395, picked up 17 hits in 43 at-bats, had a few extra base hits, a home run, a triple, and a pair of doubles as he takes there, and the count is even up at 2-2. Break even on its way, swung on and missed for strike 3, and that's out number 1 of the game. Hearn is down on strikes. Dylan Hathcock, the starting pitcher for Jacksonville State. This is the first time he's faced off against Alabama State. The two teams have a long history. The series was first initiated back in 1974. And over the span, the two teams have met 47 times. Dylan Hathcock, though, has never pitched against the Hornets as he delivers a first pitch ball to Jabronsky Williams, the two-spot hitting junior left fielder. Swing and a miss there, and the count even up now at 1 ball and 1 strike. Williams rips this one down the right field line, but that'll be out of play, foul. Williams played in 18 games last season, starting 17. Batted a hefty .313, collecting 20 hits and 64 at-bats. Plenty of pop in the bat. He led the Hornets in home runs last season with 3 and led them in RBIs with 15. He collected 40 total bases in the COVID-shortened 2020 season. The 2-2 from Hathcock will miss low, and the count will run full 3-2. Payoff pitch. Just misses low to Jabronsky, and he will draw a walk. So the Hornets have a runner aboard with 1 out here in the top of the first inning against Jacksonville State. Trenton Jamison will try his hand. We take another look at that pitch, and not a bad place to miss if you're going to miss. Miss low right there just below the knees, and if you miss your spot, you won't get hurt too bad. So 1 on, 1 out, and here's Trenton Jamison. Hathcock delivers a first pitch strike. That one in there just above the knees, and the count is 0-1. Jamison, a .302 hitter. These top 3 hitters in the ASU lineup, as Hathcock will look Jabronsky back, were the top 3 hitters of their season last year. Jamison hit .302. All 3 of those guys hitting above 300 as Jabronsky Williams takes off. Throw down from Alex Webb in time to catch him. Tag applied by the second baseman, Cole Frederick. And you take a look, there's a little bit of a collision here. He's able to hang on to it, catches it off one hop, and it was close there as Jabronsky Williams nearly got the right hand in, but he is caught stealing. That's the first runner cut down by Alex Webb this season. And quickly 2 outs in the inning with Trenton Jamison batting as he fouls that one off, and the count goes to 1-2. Now Hathcock is just 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning after walking the number 2 hitter. Wind and deal from the southpaw. That one runs inside, and Jamison has to back away from that one. Jamison last year a pair of home runs, 2 doubles and 1 triple. As he takes low and away there, totaled 16 hits last year, 26 total bases, 13 runs batted in. Held a .431 on-base percentage along with 9 walks. He goes down here looking, and the Gamecocks get out of the inning. An unconventional 1-2-3 as Dylan Hathcock strikes out a pair. We head to the bottom of the first inning. No score. Jacksonville State coming to the plate. Back to action in Jacksonville. The Gamecocks coming to the plate for the first time today. They'll do it with this lineup. Center fielder Trey Kirkland, the senior, will lead it off. Cole Frederick, the junior second baseman, bats second. Alex Webb, the senior catcher, is due up third. Alex Strachan, the first baseman, will bat in the cleanup spot. Jalen Williams, the transfer third baseman, will bat fifth. Freshman Derek Jackson, who had a big 2 RBI double last night, will bat in the sixth spot and be the DH. Carson Crowe, who had a monster home run last night, we'll show that to you later in the game. He will bat seventh and play right field. Isaac Alexander, the shortstop, will bat in the eighth spot. And Nash Adams, the left fielder, will get his first try at it in this season and bat ninth. The starting pitcher for Alabama State is the right-hander Jacknell Guzman, who will be the opening day starter for the Hornets. Guzman, a 6'1" junior, 220 pounds, out on the mound from Bronx, New York. He appeared in 4 games last year, starting 4 in the shortened season. He led the nation in complete games with 3 and recorded a 2.05 earned run average. He finished undefeated at 3-0 with 1 shutout. He logged a total of 30.2 innings, allowing just 20 hits, 11 runs, and just 7 earned. He struck out 31, and opponents hit a measly .87 against the right-hander as he delivers a first pitch strike on the outer half of the plate. That one clocked at 86 miles an hour, and he'll have to face Trey Kirkland, the electric Jacksonville State leadoff hitter. An off-speed pitch that will miss high there. Looked like a breaking ball that just didn't break. It floated up in the zone, and lucky for him, out of the reach of Kirkland. Kirkland, a ground ball to third base. That one's corralled. Strong throw over across the diamond. There's 1 away. Jamison will get the put out over at third base. So 5-3 the put out in the book for Kirkland, and Cole Frederick, the junior second baseman, will stand in for Jacksonville State, batting from the right side. Frederick stands in and have his first at bat of the afternoon. He takes a called strike on the outer half of the plate. That one in there at 86 as well. Frederick, in the small sample size of last night's game, leads the Gamecocks in batting average at .667 as that one misses low and away. Frederick last night against SIU was 2 for 3 with a run scored. He walked a couple of times and struck out once. The 1-1 on its way. Called strike, outer half of the plate. That one a breaking ball in there at 78 miles an hour. Guzman locating really well on the outside corner against Jacksonville State, keeping it away from the Gamecock batters. 1-2, catcher sets up outside. A ground ball back to Guzman. He'll pick and throw on to first, and there's 2 away. An easy play for the right-hander. 1-3 put out. There's 2 down, and Frederick is retired. This will bring up Alex Webb, the Jacksonville State senior catcher. who's still looking for his first hit of the season. A disappointing debut for him last night. He was 0 for 4, but did walk once and scored a run. He left a total of 3 runners on base. And so Webb looking to turn it around today and have a little bit better outing in game number 2 of the season. First pitch swinging a ground ball toward third base. Jamison picks and throws on to first. A bang-bang play, but they will get Webb, and 3 up, 3 down go the Gamecocks. We head to the second inning. Jacksonville State and Alabama State scoreless at Jim K. Stadium. Back in Jacksonville, Alabama at Jim K. Stadium, where we are scoreless after 1 frame between the Jacksonville State Gamecocks and the visiting Alabama State Hornets. This is a series that goes back to 1974. The 2 teams have met 47 times, as we mentioned in pregame. JSU won the first 27 in a row from 1974 until 2007. But then Alabama State got their first win over the Gamecocks in 2007, and since then have been pretty dominant in the series. ASU has won the last 2 games in a row, and of the last 11 games between these 2 teams, the Hornets have won 9 of them, and so Jacksonville State is looking to turn their luck around today against the Hornets. Meanwhile, Alabama State looks to continue to be dominant against their in-state rivals to the north. Set to begin the second inning. Santiago Garcia will lead it off for Alabama State as he takes a first pitch ball from Dylan Hathcock. Chris Lewis, the junior first baseman, and A.J. Gardner, the sophomore center fielder, are due up second and third as a ball is sent toward the right center field gap. That one's off the glove of Trey Kirkland and will go all the way to the fence. Picked up by Carson Crow, and he will get it into the infield to the cutoff man. And that is a leadoff double for Santiago Garcia, the junior designated hitter. Trey Kirkland came within a hair of saving extra bases here as a last-minute dive. That one just goes off the fingers of the left-handed glove and will bounce all the way to the fence. Kirkland had a fantastic play last night, diving to his right side to save extra bases last night. He nearly does it again with that Superman layout, but it goes just off of the leather. And Alabama State has its first base runner in scoring position today. So Chris Lewis will stand in now and take a first pitch ball off of the plate. Chris Lewis, the junior first baseman for the Hornets, bats from the left side. You see Isaac Alexander, the Jacksonville State shortstop, putting a little pressure on Garcia over at second base. And a strike on the inside part of the plate from Hathcock. That was a breaking ball that when he first threw it, I honestly thought that it was going to hit Lewis, and it broke back in and caught the corner of the plate. A look back to second and deliver. Popped up behind the plate. Webb gets rid of the helmet, turns his back to the infield, and makes the catch, and there's one away. It's only the second time that Webb has had a chance to make a play like that. Last night, the wind was blowing out to right field, and it really affected the way he made a play on the ball, and he had a foul ball drop right in front of the Jacksonville State dugout. Couldn't get a hand on it, but today the wind fairly calm, and he's able to make the catch, and there's one down. A.J. Gardner, the right-handed hitting sophomore center fielder, will stand in and swing at the first pitch he sees and foul it down the left field line. Gardner hit an even .250 last season for the Hornets, playing 16 games and starting 14. He had a pair of home runs and drove in 7. The 0-1 on its way. Ground ball back up the middle. Hathcock gets a glove on it, knocks it away from the shortstop, Isaac Alexander, and a run will score as a result. And on his way to second on the throw will go A.J. Gardner. So Santiago Garcia from second base will score, and that will be an RBI single, I believe, for A.J. Gardner. If you take another look at it here, if Hathcock lets that one go, there's a good chance that Alexander makes a play on it, but instead, when he puts the glove on it, it deflects it away from Alexander and toward left field. And as a result, Jacksonville State goes down 1-0 early in this contest. And that's what it'll be for Gardner. It will be a single and an RBI. And then he will advance to second on the throw. Hathcock will turn and look to second base to try to keep A.J. Gardner honest, as Dylan Espinal will try his hand at the plate now, junior second baseman, batting from the right side. Hathcock looking to settle down and throw strikes here, and he does just that. And the count is 0-1. One out on the board. Alabama State leading Jacksonville State 1-0 in the early goings. Defense will play Espinal straight up. Pitch on the way from Hathcock. Off speed, misses high and away. That one came in at 71. Espinal last year hit .257, drove in 6 runs, 18 total hits and 70 at-bats as he fouls that one away. He had 5 extra base hits, 4 of them doubles, 1 was a triple. His 4 doubles led Alabama State in that category. Second most were A.J. Gardner with 3 and Jabronsky Williams with 3. Hathcock looks back to second, comes to the plate. That one off of the end of the bat and fouled away. Out of play into the Jacksonville State bullpen. Gamecocks hope to not go to the bullpen that many times today. Last night, they used 6 pitchers. That included Magwood, Lewis, Lovrich, Tavell, and Fortner out of the bullpen. Talked with head coach Jim Case today, and he said that obviously Christian Edwards, who started yesterday and threw 3 2/3, will not be available today, and nor will Colton Lewis, who threw 2 2/3 out of the bullpen. Everyone else, though, depending on the situation, we could see a few guys from yesterday's appearances return. Isaiah Magwood more than likely will not see the field today, as Jim Case hopes to save him for Tuesday's matchup against the Alabama Crimson Tide here at Jim Case Stadium at 4 p.m. We'll have that game for you here on ESPN+. Wind and deal, lifted in the air, deep to left center field. Kirkland gives chase and makes the play. That one hangs up just long enough for the center fielder to get under it, and there's 2 away. Off the bat, I didn't think there was a chance that Kirkland was going to get to that one. And I knew that there was no way that Nash Adams was going to get to it in left field, but Trey Kirkland, with tons of speed, jumps on his horse and is able to make the play. A.J. Gardner, who was standing at second base, will advance to third on the play. So Alabama State with a runner 90 feet from home, as Hunter May will come to the plate, the junior catcher. First pitch swinging and a miss, and the count is 0-1. May looking to improve on a year where he batted .194 last year as he swings and misses at that one and goes behind in the count 0-2. He started 12 games, played in 13. Had just 7 hits through 36 at bats. 1 extra base hit, it was a double, and he drove in 2 runs. An opportunity here to put a run on the board for Alabama State, but instead he strikes out swinging on a high fastball from Hathcock. That's 3 Ks for Hathcock, and we head to the bottom of the second. The Gamecocks trailing 1-0 to Alabama State. Gamecocks find themselves down 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Alabama State put a run on the board in the top of the frame on an A.J. Gardner RBI single that scored Santiago Garcia, who led off the inning with a double to right center field. And so that's where we stand. After 1.5 frames, the Gamecocks will come to the plate. Here in the bottom of the second, they'll send Alex Strachan, the junior first baseman, Jalen Williams, the senior third baseman, and Derek Jackson, the freshman designated hitter, to the plate in this inning. This is a round-robin tournament at Jim K Stadium that came together at the last minute. 4 teams in it: Jacksonville State, Alabama State, Southern Illinois, and Tennessee Tech, also of the Ohio Valley Conference, as Alex Strachan will stand in for the first time today. All 3 teams were supposed to be playing somewhere else this weekend as Strachan swings at the first pitch and fouls it away. Jacksonville State was supposed to be in Waco, Texas, playing Baylor in a 3-game series. Tennessee Tech was supposed to be hosting SIU up in Cookeville, Tennessee. And the Alabama State Hornets, well, they were supposed to be down in New Orleans competing in the Andre Dawson MLB Classic. But all 3 events were hampered by cold weather, inclement weather, the snow out in Texas that we obviously know that state is having a tough time with. So everything that these 4 teams were supposed to be doing this weekend were moved to Jacksonville, Alabama. Strachan swings and misses at a breaking pitch, 78 miles an hour from ASU starter Jacknell Guzman, who was solid in the first inning. 3 up, 3 down, coaxed 3 groundouts by the Gamecocks. The 1-2 on its way. A ground ball towards shortstop. It'll be picked up by the third baseman Jamison barehanded, but will not make a throw across, and that's an infield hit for Strachan. Strachan not with the best wills, and obviously last year he was out for a few games of the season with an oblique injury. You see there, that one just gets under the bare hand of the third baseman Jamison. It's picked up by the shortstop Guzman, and by the time the ball was fielded, there was no way of getting Strachan, and so the Gamecocks have their first baseman aboard at first base with a leadoff hit. So 1 on, no outs here in the bottom of the second inning, and Jalen Williams, the graduate transfer from Jackson State over in Jackson, Mississippi, will stand in. Williams on the season in 1 game is batting .333. Last night knocked in a couple of runs on 1 hit and scored a run of his own as well. The 1-0 on its way from Guzman is a called strike on the outer half of the plate. Williams may be one of the best hitters the Gamecocks have this season. Led Jackson State last year in batting average, home runs, and runs batted in. Timeout is called at the plate as Williams thought that Guzman was taking up too much time. Ball and a strike. Breaking ball off the plate outside. 3 teams in this tournament agreed to a round robin, Jacksonville State played SIU last night, lost it 8-7. Taking on Alabama State now, obviously. And then tomorrow, we'll host Tennessee Tech, their OVC foe, at 1:30 here on ESPN+. Alabama State, this is their first game of the season. They are set to play again tonight, immediately following this game. As Guzman comes to the plate, and that one's lifted in the air to left center field. Center fielder Gardner calling off the left fielder Williams to make the catch, and there's one away, a fly out for Jalen Williams. Williams gave that one a pretty good ride, but that is one of the deepest parts of the park. As Gardner makes the catch, and Strachan has to retreat back to first base. So now here's Derek Jackson, the freshman from the Huntsville area. Last night was 0 for 3. He had made the third out in all 3 innings that he had batted. And then in the 7th inning, as the pitch is a called strike, in the 7th inning last night, facing McDaniel, the SIU closer, he ripped a 2 RBI double for his first Division I hit. That shortened the Gamecock deficit to the Salukis to 1 run. Unfortunately, the Gamecocks not able to find another to tie it and force extra innings or 2 to win it on a walk-off, but a fantastic outing for Derek Jackson for the freshman. Guzman comes set and will come to the plate. That one misses in the left-hander's batter's box. Mentioned that Alabama State will play again later tonight. First pitch of that game is set for 6 p.m., and they will take on Tennessee Tech, and they will wrap up the weekend tomorrow with a 10 a.m. start against Southern Illinois. Southern Illinois picked up a 4-3 win over Tennessee Tech just before the start of this contest. So SIU starts out the season 2-0, and both Jacksonville State and Tennessee Tech are 0-1 to begin the season. Jacksonville was the ideal place for this tournament to take place, as right now it's 54 degrees and sunny in Alabama. And in addition, the field is completely turfed here. So had there been rain or even a little bit of snow or ice, it wouldn't have really affected the field all that much, as they appeal down the first base side and say that Derek Jackson did not go around. He's able to hold up the head of the bat, and he will force a 3-2 count. Another look at it here. And kind of close. He might have got the benefit of the doubt on that one. (3-2) with 1 out. Payoff pitch on its way. Runner on the move, Strachan, and he will be able to glide in safely as Derek Jackson draws ball 4. So Jackson will trot down to first base. Strachan is in safely at second base, and the Gamecocks have a pair of runners on with Carson Crow coming to the plate. And we were talking about it during the pregame. Carson Crow absolutely crushed a home run last night in the 6th inning to lead off the frame. That got the scoring started for Jacksonville State as they went on to pick up 5 runs in the 7th inning. 6 runs in 2 innings as Crow takes off the plate outside. 1-0 on its way to the left-handers. That one gets past the catcher, and both runners will move up a base apiece. Strachan will head to third base, and Garrett Jackson will head to second. Here's the Crow home run that we were talking about from last night. This led off the 6th inning, and it clears the scoreboard. The system that we have here at Jim Case Stadium estimated that to have carried 436 feet. And the exit velocity off the bat was a blistering 96 miles per hour. The 2-0 on its way. That one misses low for a ball. That one called a passed ball against the Hornets catcher May. That allows runners to move up to second and third, and Crow with a favorable 3-0 count as the Gamecocks look to tie this one up here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. A called strike there from Guzman as he delivers that one on the outer half to middle part of the plate. Count in favor of Crow. Pitch on its way. Swung on and missed, and blocked up by the catcher May to keep the runners on at second and third. Guzman able to work a full count after going down in the count 3-0 with just one out on the board, and both Gamecocks on the base paths in scoring position at second and third. Pitch on its way. Crow, a big cut and a miss, and strike 3 for Guzman. That is the first strikeout of the day for the Alabama State right-hander. And that's a huge out for the Hornets, as they're now just one out away from getting out of this inning. That's another look at it here. That one a little low, and Crow chased after. 8-spot hitter Isaac Alexander due up now for Jacksonville State. Alexander is making his 107th start in a row for Jacksonville State, so somewhat of a Iron Man for the Gamecocks. This will be start number 134 of his career as he stands in and takes the first pitch strike. And he's one of the guys that has actually faced Alabama State before. A 50-year guy who head coach Jim Case has a ton of confidence in out on the field, as that one is blocked up in the dirt by the catcher May again. And man, he's had a workout this inning. Alexander, since 2018, has faced off against Alabama State in 3 games. He started all 3 games against the Hornets. He's a total of 3 for 14 with no extra base hits and 1 run batted in. He struck out a total of 4 times against Alabama State in his 3-game career against them. The 1-1 on its way, swung on and missed for strike 2. Carson Crow, Nash Adams, who is on deck, and Alex Strachan, the only other JSU batters that have faced off against Alabama State previously. Ball and 2 strikes, the 2 outs. Delivery on its way, and that's a ground ball up the middle. That's going to get through. Jacksonville State will score 1. Strachan is in. Another run around, and he'll score. Jackson is in. And now the throw gets away from second base. And in safely at second is Isaac Alexander, who I would imagine, again, it'll be scored a single and advancement on the throw. That one just gets past the shortstop, De Guzman, and there's Jackson motoring around third base. Head first dive in, and he scores. And there is the play at second base. That one almost hit Isaac Alexander, the throw from the catcher May. Gamecocks, nonetheless, will pick up the runs, and they will take over the lead 2-1 here in the bottom of the 2nd inning as Strachan comes around to score from first base, and Jackson will score From second base. Isaac Alexander is at second on the single and the 2 RBIs. So the Gamecocks with a fresh 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the second inning with a runner at second base in Alexander, and Nash Adams will stand in. This will be his first at bat of the season. 1-0 the count with 2 down. He takes high for a ball. Nash Adams has only played 1 game against Alabama State in his career, and he fared pretty well. He was 2 for 3 against the Hornets in 2019. That's good for a .667 batting average. He batted in 1 run and stole a base. Another primo RBI opportunity here for Adams as he bats with 2 outs and coaxes a strike there, and the count is 2-1. He's ahead in the count 2-1 rather. And he's got a runner at second base and Isaac Alexander, who has pretty good speed. 2-1 on its way. Blocked up in the dirt by May. Alexander not going to try anything there. You don't want to make the 3rd out at third base, and so he will hang out at second. First game of the season for Nash Adams. Last night, Tanner Snow got the start in left field and was 1 for 3 with a run batted in, a walk, and a strikeout. Adams, a right-handed hitting junior, swings at this one and sends this one to left field, but there in his tracks is Williams, and that'll do it for the Gamecocks in this inning. But not before Jacksonville State scores a couple of runs and takes a 2-1 lead as we go to the 3rd in Jacksonville.
Your way.
Back in Jacksonville, Alabama, where the Gamecocks are leading 2-1 over Alabama State here at Jim Case Stadium. The Gamecocks had trailed 1-0 before the bottom of the second inning. They were able to pick up a couple of runs on a 2 RBI Isaac Alexander single up the middle that scored Derek Jackson and Alex Strachan. And so that's where we stand as we go to the top of the 3rd inning. The Alabama State Hornets picked up their run in the top of the 2nd inning. Santiago Garcia led off the inning, and then A.J. Gardner knocked him in with a single. The bottom of the order, the number 9 hitter, Christopher De Guzman, is due up now with the top of the order to follow him in Cameron Hearn and Jabronsky Williams. First pitch swinging, there's a line drive to third base, and that one, quick reaction by the third baseman Jalen Williams to make the catch, and there's one away. A hot shot off of the bat, and Williams just in the right place to snag that one out of the air. So 1 down on a hard hit ball toward the third base side. Now Cameron Hearn will stand in for Alabama State. First pitch swinging again, a ground ball to third, a 1-hopper. Williams corrals it and throws on to first for the 2nd out. So a little bit of a workout for Jalen over at third base, and there's 2 away. He kind of tomahawks that one into the ground. It landed less than 4 feet away from him and took a hop toward third. So 2 quick outs for Dylan Hathcock. He's thrown 2 pitches. And Jabronsky Williams will stand in. The junior left fielder who is officially 0 for 0 today. He was walked back in the 1st inning, but was caught stealing while Trenton Jamison, the 3-hole hitter, was at the plate. Wind and deal from Hathcock, and that one's popped up. Foul and out of play. So Alabama State is trying to jump on Hathcock early in these at-bats. Swing and a miss there, and that's strike number 2. Hathcock can get out of this one with one more pitch. He'll be able to get a little bit of a rest over in the dugout. He got a pretty long breather as Jacksonville State sent 7 batters to the plate in the second after Hathcock labored a bit in the top of the second inning that allowed a Hornet runner to score. Breaking ball called strike 3, inner half of the plate. Dylan Hathcock with his 4th strikeout of the day, and we head to the bottom of the second. The Gamecocks leading this one 2-1 in Jacksonville. As you probably figured out after that last call, we're actually headed to the bottom of the third in Jacksonville. The Gamecocks leading Alabama State 2-1. Both teams with a pair of hits. Gamecocks had a nice bottom of the second inning. Couple of runs scored on an Isaac Alexander 2 RBI single that plated Jackson and Strachan. Meanwhile, the Alabama State Hornets scored their run in the second as well. Santiago Garcia led off the inning with a double. Later came around to score on an A.J. Gardner RBI single. And so that's where we stand as we go to the bottom of the third here at Jim Case Stadium. The wind is blowing out slightly to left field for the first time today. We go to the top of the order with Trey Kirkland due up for the Gamecocks. Cole Frederick is due up second, and Alex Webb, the 3-spot hitter, is due up third this frame. Shows bunt. Can't get it down, though, as it's fouled back to the backstop, and the count is 0-1. Jacknell Guzman has been decent for Alabama State so far today. 2 innings pitched, just 2 hits allowed. He's given up 1 run. It was 1 unearned, 1 earned with a walk and a strikeout. He's faced a total of 9 batters as we go to the bottom of the third. Oh-1 the count to Kirkland. Line drive toward the second, rather the shortstop, as that one gets out into left field. De Guzman, that one's just out of his reach, and it bounces into left field to Williams, and a lead-off hit for Trey Kirkland. That ball was hammered. De Guzman would have had to make a pretty good leap to get leather on that one. And that's the third Gamecock hit of the afternoon as Kirkland is aboard with no outs to begin the third inning. Cole Frederick will stand in now. Jacksonville State was retired in order back in the first inning. So Kirkland, Frederick, and Webb all over 1 as Kirkland is on his way to second. Slides in feet first, and the umpire checks to make sure that the shortstop De Guzman was able to hang on to the ball, and he was, and Kirkland is cut down at second by Hunter May, the Hornet catcher. And that one drew the ire of the JSU fans here at Jim Case Stadium. No argument from the JSU head coach Jim Case, though, as he remains in the third base coach's box. This one popped up right field side. Hearn will make the catch, and there's 2 away. So Kirkland is caught stealing. Cole Frederick flies out to right field, and there's 2 outs quickly on the board after a promising start. Now Alex Webb will stand in. Webb on the season now is 0 for his first 5. He takes a first pitch strike from Guzman. Wide deal, ground ball, that one toward the middle. Just under the glove of the shortstop De Guzman and out into center field. And so Alex Webb is on base for the second time this weekend. The first one was last night with a walk, and this time he comes up lucky with a ball that gets just under the glove of the shortstop De Guzman. And that'll be credited a single to Alex Webb as he gets his first hit of the season, a single to center field, and there's one on with 2 outs on the board. Now Alex Strachan will stand in and take a first pitch ball from Guzman. 4th hit of the afternoon for Jacksonville State. Strachan picked up the first hit of the day, a single back in the 2nd inning. He later came around and scored on the Isaac Alexander 2 RBI single. Patient at the plate here thus far. He's ahead in the count 2-0. Webb over at first base gets his lead off. Guzman gives him a look. He'll come to the plate. Lifted in the air, left field side. That one is just foul. Strachan tattooed it, but it lands maybe 5 feet to the left of the foul line in left field. Two-one on its way. A strike down the heart of the plate. Strachan was taking all the way, and the count is even up at 2-2 as he looks down the third base line to head coach Jim Case for the signs. Webb with the leadoff over at first base, gets one more step. Guzman comes to the plate, swung on and missed for strike 3, inning over. Strachan down on strikes, and Guzman escapes the inning and leaves a runner on base. We head to the top of the 4th inning. Jacksonville State trailing, rather leading 2-1.
Thank you, DQ, for giving me just what I needed. DQ.
We go to the 4th inning in Jacksonville, where the Gamecocks have a 2-1 lead over the Alabama State Hornets. Here in Game 2 of the season for JSU. It's the first game of the season for Alabama State. The Hornets will play again later tonight. They will take on Tennessee Tech immediately following this game. And then tomorrow at 10 a.m., they will take on the Southern Illinois Salukis, who are 2-0 on the season after winning over Jacksonville State 8-7 last night and 4-3 prior to this game over Tennessee Tech. Trenton Jamison to lead it off for the Gamecocks is Hathcock. Looks like he might have tripped a little bit on his follow-through there off the mound. So he'll take a second to regroup. Jamison leads it off, followed by Santiago Garcia and Chris Lewis. The 3, 4, and 5 spots do up the heart of the order for Alabama State. 2 balls and a strike from Hathcock. That one a line drive right back where it came from, and Hathcock got a little piece of glove on it that deflected it just a little bit toward left field, but a hard shot right back up the middle, and Hathcock, I don't think meant to have the glove there. It just happened to be where it was when it hit it. Not enough time to really react to that one, and that's a leadoff single for Jamison. So 1 on with no outs. The leadoff hitter report, and here comes Santiago Garcia, who is 1 for 1 today. Doubled and scored back in the 2nd inning. He recorded the first hit of the afternoon for the Hornets, leading off the 2nd inning with the double. He later scored on the A.J. Gardner RBI single. called strike outside part of the plate from Hathcock, and the count even up 1-1. Garcia Jr. batting in the 4th spot as the designated hitter for the Hornets. Swing and a miss there, and the count is 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes with no outs. Jamison on at first base with the leadoff single, and he'll draw a throw from the left-hander Dylan Hathcock, who has been solid today for Jacksonville State. 3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned with 4 strikeouts and 1 walk. Fouled away, and the count stays 1-2. Hathcock, the Saturday starter for Jacksonville State in this early rotation for Jim Case. Christian Edwards started yesterday and tomorrow against Tennessee Tech. They're going to go with Casey as that one's sent towards center field. Trey Kirkland in his tracks to make the catch, and there's one away. Decent contact by Garcia. The setup was on the outside, though, so he just misses the barrel of the bat. Gives it a good ride, but a routine fly ball for Kirkland in center, and there's one down. Here's Chris Lewis, the junior first baseman. 0 for 1 so far today as Hathcock will throw over to first. Lewis popped up to the catcher Webb in foul territory back in the 2nd inning. This time lines the ball toward right field, and that one's down for a hit. So the Hornets with a pair of hits here in the 4th inning. This pitch from Hathcock was that was really just down the middle of the plate, about letter high, and Chris Lewis didn't try to do too much with it, just pulled it to right field and comes up with a base hit. So the Hornets now with runners at first and second, and A.J. Gardner steps in 1 for 1 today. Gardner responsible for the only ASU run of the day thus far. RBI single back in the 2nd that scored Santiago Garcia, and that's who he finds on second base. Line drive towards second. That one just over the glove of Frederick as he makes a good leap toward it. 1 run will score for Alabama State as Trenton Jamison will score all the way from second. And Chris Lewis will go first to third on the hit. A.J. Gardner with his 2nd RBI single of the afternoon. Frederick gets some good air here, but may have missed it by just a couple of inches. Not much at all. Gardner knocks that one into right field. Another RBI single for the sophomore center fielder. And we're all tied up now 2-2 as this will warrant a mound visit from head baseball coach Jim Case. He'll go out and talk to Hathcock, who is now through 3 1/3 innings of this start. He's allowed 5 hits, and 3 of them have come in this inning. Trenton Jamison led off the inning with a single. Santiago Garcia flying out to center, and then after that, Chris Lewis and A.J. Gardner each strung together a pair of singles, and Gardner drives in Jamison. Line drive toward third base. That one is snagged by Jalen Williams on a fantastic diving play. and he saves a run and extra bases. The graduate transfer from Jackson State lays out and makes a fantastic play, diving to the opposite side of his glove hand. That one definitely saves a run, possibly two, as that one could have trickled into foul territory. And A.J. Gardner has some wheels. He could have scored possibly from first on that one. Instead, there's 2 outs. Runners remain on the corners, and Hunter May will stand in for Alabama State. Swings and fouls that one off of his foot. Has a shin guard on, though, so that one may have saved him a little bit of trouble as the count goes to 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning, where the Hornets have scored 1 already and are threatening with runners on the corners. The 0-2 on its way. Lifted in the air to right field. Carson Crow on his way back toward the infield, makes the catch, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. Hunter May flies out to right. Carson Crow with a great catch, and the Gamecocks get out of this one, allowing just 1 run to score. We're tied up going to the 4th. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning, all knotted up in Jacksonville, 2-2, Alabama State and Jacksonville State. Jalen Williams, who had a fantastic diving grab over at third base, will lead it off in the 5 spot. Derek Jackson, 6-spot hitter, freshman DH, will bat second, and Carson Crow, who made the final out catch over in right field, will bat in the 3 spot, 7th hitter in the JSU order here in this half inning. Jalen Williams will stand in, batting from the right side. .333 hitter. He's 0 for 1 today. He flying out to center in his last at bat. Pitch on its way. Misses off the plate outside. And the count is 1-0 to the graduate transfer from Jackson State. Lifted in the air to center field. Catch is made by Gardner, and there's 1 down. So the 2nd time today that Jalen Williams has flied out to Gardner, and there's 1 down here in the top of the 4th inning. One out, here's Derek Jackson, the freshman from Huntsville, Alabama. Takes a pitch high. And it's called a ball. Meridianville, Alabama is the hometown of Derek Jackson, just outside of Huntsville. He played at Buckhorn High School. He's a 6-foot freshman, weighing in at 195, and he's today's DH, but is also labeled a catcher and a first baseman. '19 Alabama Sports Writers Association Class 6A All-Star Club as a catcher. 2-time perfect game preseason underclassman All-American as well. So he takes a strike on the inner half of the plate, and he's ahead in the count, 3 balls to 1 strike. Played travel ball with the Knights Baseball 17U Platinum team out of Nashville, Tennessee. That is a very nice travel program up in Music City. The 3-1, a ground ball towards shortstop, picked up by De Guzman. Throw on to first is in time to retire Jackson, and there's 2 away. 6-3 put out in the scorebook. De Guzman just gets in front of it. Makes a good throw over to first, doesn't rush it. That's the second out of the inning for the Hornets. So 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th, and Carson Crowe will stand in. He's 0 for 1 today. He struck out swinging back in the 2nd inning. And he takes a called first strike to begin the at-bat. 1 for 4 last night with a pair of RBIs. He scored 1 run. That was on the solo home run that he led off the 6th inning with. Here he sends a ground ball toward shortstop. That one is knocked away by Jamison, the third baseman. It looked like he had De Guzman at shortstop ready to make a play on that one if he lets it go, but Jamison tries to make a diving stab at it and has it go off the glove, and Carson is on at first base with an infield single. You can see that the shortstop, De Guzman, was already turning his body to make a play on that one, and Carson is not extremely quick. If he lets it go and De Guzman makes a play on it, they have a chance to possibly get Carson at first base, but instead Crowe was able to leg it out, and he has his first hit of the afternoon. So 1 on, 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning, all knotted up 2-2, and here comes Isaac Alexander, who is 1 for 1 today. Jacknell Guzman, the starting pitcher for Alabama State, comes to the plate. That one misses low, 2 balls and no strikes. Isaac Alexander, a 2 RBI single back in the 2nd inning that scored Alex Strachan and Derek Jackson to put the Gamecocks up 2-1. Since then, the Hornets have scored a run to tie this one 2-2. The Hornets put up their run in the top half of the 4th inning as that one's fouled away. Alexander in his career now is 4 for 15 against Alabama State. Had a pair of hits against them in 2018 and 1 in 2019 in 3 games played in his past. This is game number 4 against the Hornets for the senior shortstop. The 2-1 on its way. Taken low. It bounces away from the catcher, Hunter May, for just a few seconds, and he's able to keep it in front of him, and Carson Crowe will hang up at first base, will not try to go for it. (3-1) on its way. Lift in the air, foul. That one out of play. That one over into the coach's parking lot behind Jim Cake Stadium. Second day in a row, it's been clear and sunny at game time for Jacksonville State. Last night we got down into the 30s once the sun went down. Last night was a 6 o'clock start. Today a bit early, 2:30 start for the Gamecocks and the Hornets. Jacksonville State will have a 1:30 start tomorrow against Tennessee Tech as Guzman steps off the back of the rubber. Currently 54 degrees and sunny in Jacksonville as the wind is blowing lightly out to left field. Payoff pitch with 2 outs on its way. Alexander sends that one into center field. He's 2 for 2 on the day. Crowe will round second and head for third. He'll draw a throw, but it won't be in time. And Alexander will slide in safely at second base on the throw. Hit number 2 on the day for Isaac Alexander. Another single. That one into center field, and a tough decision by Gardner to try to gun for Crowe at third base. I'm not sure why he decided to go for that instead of trying to hit his cutoff man, De Guzman, the shortstop. It flies over the head of De Guzman. Jamison has to field it. And on the play, Isaac Alexander heads up, goes to second base. So the Gamecocks now with 2 runners in scoring position at first and second, with Nash Adams due up, and now this is going to warrant a mound visit from the Alabama State dugout. And they do have an arm warming up in the bullpen, a left-hander down there. I can't catch a number just yet. We'll see if he turns, and it looks like it may be. I thought it was number 30 for a second. But Breon Pooler is a right-hander. Still nothing official. I believe that's head coach Jose Vasquez out to speak with his starting pitcher, and he will turn and head back to the dugout. Jose Vasquez, the head coach of the Hornets in his 5th season, 103-77 record. He's 57-17 in 4 seasons against SWAC competition. He's led the Hornets to 2 SWAC championship appearances in his 4 seasons at the helm. He decides to stick with his starter, Jacknell Guzman, who has runners at second and third with 2 outs. He's facing the number 9 hitter, Nash Adams. A breaking ball, slider off the plate misses, and the count is 1-0 to the Jacksonville State right-hander, who is 0 for 1 today, and which might be another reason that he decided to stick with Jacknell Guzman rather than to go to his pen, as you've got Nash Adams up, who is a right-hander, followed by Trey Kirkland, who is also a right-hander. Another pitch misses, and the count goes to 2-0 against Adams, who is 0 for 1 today. Adams flying out to left field back in the 3rd inning. Correction, the 2nd inning to end the frame. Two-0 pitch. Off the plate outside for a ball. Alabama State is sending a player down to the bullpen, and it looks like they are going to signal for the left-hander to maybe throw a few more pitches, but possibly enter the game at any second now as a strike is delivered, and the count goes to 3-1. Ricardo Rivera is the pitcher down in the bullpen for Alabama State. Left-handed sophomore who continues to throw down the line. 3 balls and a strike, 2 outs. Nash Adams at the plate for the Gamecocks. Strike called on the outer half of the plate, and he goes from being up 3-0 to the count being full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. A little sidearm action from Rivera down in the bullpen. Be a totally different look from the over-the-top pitching of right-hander Jacknell Guzman if he's called in. Guzman bounces that one. That's ball 4 to Nash Adams. He draws a walk. And so now the bases are loaded as we go back to the top of the order with Trey Kirkland due up, who is 1 for 2 today. Kirkland in his last at-bat laced a single to center field and then later swiped second base. Or correction, was caught stealing. And so he was the first out of the 3rd inning. So 2 down, bases loaded. And here comes Kirkland, who came into the game batting an even 200. Yesterday was 1 for 5 with a run scored, striking out twice. First pitch on its way. That one misses high inside, and the count is 1-0. And now we have a mound visit from the head coach, Jose Vasquez. The previous visit was from pitching coach Matt Crane. And so that will be it for Jacknell Guzman. A partial line on him is 3 2/3, 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, with a pair of walks and a pair of strikeouts. He faced a total of 18 batters and threw 70 pitches. And so the Hornets will go to the bullpen, and they will be calling in the left-hander, number 20, Ricardo Rivera. Rivera, 6'2", sophomore from San Juan, Puerto Rico. 185-pound sophomore on the mound now for the Hornets. We got a little bit of a sidearm action here. Delivers a few warm-up pitches. Rivera last season was 0 for 1 in 5 appearances. He made 2 starts for the Hornets. Had a 2.29 ERA, totaling 19 2/3 innings pitched. He gave up 12 hits, 7 runs, only 5 of them earned, while striking out 24 and walking 10. Among those 12 hits, 4 were for extra base hits, 2 were doubles, 2 were triples. He faced 65 batters and held opponents to a 185 batting average. He enters in this one in a tough situation with the bases loaded, but he has 2 outs, and he's got a 1-0 count on Trey Kirkland, the leadoff hitter for Jacksonville State. I would say the odds will be in Kirkland's favor here, as the lefty will have to face the right-hander. And then if Kirkland were able to find a way on, Cole Frederick is a right-hander as well. And in the hole for Jacksonville State is Alex Webb, the right-handed hitting catcher. Kirkland will take a few warm-up swings, as he already has a 1-0 count on him. Guzman threw 1 pitch to him before the switch was made by Coach Vasquez. And first pitch is off the plate outside, an 86-mile-per-hour fastball. Two balls and no strikes to the senior center fielder. Make it 3 balls, no strikes, as that one misses off the plate outside. Be interesting to see if Kirkland's taking all the way here with 2 outs. You know that he has to have a strike thrown. And it misses on the inside part of the plate, and for the second time in as many games, Jacksonville State has a run walked in. Scoring from third will be Carson Crow. Isaac Alexander will move up to third. Nash Adams goes to second on the walk. And at first base is now Trey Kirkland. And now Cole Frederick will step to the plate for Jacksonville State, as Mike Murphy, the first base coach for the Gamecocks, goes out to first to congratulate Kirkland after the walk. Now Frederick will stand in and take his first pitch from Rivera, and it's strike 1. Fouled off toward the third base dugout. Despite Ricardo Rivera walking in the run, it'll be charged to Guzman. And so now the line on Guzman has him allowing 3 runs, 2 earned. The 0-2 on its way. Misses high and away, and they had 1 to waste there. Hunter May, the catcher for the Hornets, was up out of his crouch to receive that pitch. Here's the 1-2. That one misses high, and the count even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Frederick, who is 0 for 2 today. Frederick out on a 1-3 put-out back in the first inning, and then in the third inning, he flied out to right field, was the second out of that inning. 2-2. Called strike 3, inner half of the plate, and the Hornets will escape trouble. Jacksonville State, though, will score 1 run in the frame, and they take a 3-2 lead as we head to the top of the 5th inning here in Jacksonville. We head to the top of the 5th inning. New pitcher in the game for Jacksonville State, and it's going to be right-hander Alex Luigs, a senior, coming on in relief of starting pitcher Dylan Hathcock. So a final line on Hathcock. We'll have the left-hander going 4 complete innings, giving up just 5 hits. 2 runs, both of them earned, walking 1, while striking out 4, as you get a look at Luigs, the senior, making his first appearance of the season. Luigs, a transfer from the University of North Georgia, spent 3 seasons with the Nighthawks. This is his first season in a Jacksonville State uniform. Stands 6'4", 200 pounds. He's from Richmond Hill, Georgia, and he will face the 9, 1, and 2 spots in the Alabama State order. Christopher De Guzman will lead it off against the right-hander, followed by Cameron Hearn and Jabronsky Williams. First pitch will miss high and away to the left-handed hitting Guzman, who is 0 for 1 today. His only at-bat thus far came in the 3rd inning, and he lined out to the Jacksonville State third baseman Jalen Williams, who made a great diving play to save extra bases. Called strike there, and the count goes to 1-2. Swing and miss for strike 3, and he is going to be, I believe, called out. Yes, that is what happened. We'll get another look at it on the replay, but the strikeout is credited to Luigs. And you see here, it gets away from Alex Webb, and the key is, who is it kicked by? Or was it kicked at all? The head coach for Alabama State, Jose Vasquez, is out arguing the call with the home plate umpire. Here's another look at it here. If it is kicked here by the batter, oh, and it totally is, he's out. If he is out of the batter's box, Vasquez continues to speak with the entire umping crew, as the official call was, it's a strikeout for Luigs, regardless. But is it an out? And they are going to say that it is officially an out. They're going to say that even though he's in the batter's box, that he kicks the ball away from Alex Webb, who is supposed to be who makes a play on the ball for the official out. And so the ruling goes Jacksonville State's favor, and it's a strikeout of De Guzman, and there's 1 out on the board. And that will send us to the top of the order with Cameron Hearn due up now. Hearn, the leadoff hitter for the Hornets, fouls that one off toward the Jacksonville State dugout, and that one goes out of play. Hearn is 0 for 2 today. He struck out back in the first inning and grounded out to third base back in the third. The 1-1 on its way. A called strike, that one down to the heart of the plate at 89 miles an hour. The 1-2 is bounced in the dirt. And the count even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Break even will miss low and away. And the count goes to 3-2. Payoff pitch on its way. Called strike 3. As Cameron Hearn will go down looking, and that's back-to-back strikeouts for Luigs, the new pitcher into the game for Jacksonville State. Kyle Luigs rings him up. That one knee-high on the outer half of the plate. 2 down, and this will bring up Jabronsky Williams, the junior left fielder, who takes a first pitch called for a strike. That one in there at 78. Took a little off of that one. The 0-1 on its way. Misses for a ball. That one's a fastball at 90. Luigs has 3 pitches. He's got a fastball, a changeup, and then comes with a breaking ball that's very much like a slider. You don't see many true curveballs in college baseball these days, as that fastball misses high and out of the zone. Rather than throwing a curveball that it's hard to throw one for 84, 85 miles an hour. Instead, you can throw a cutter or a slider that a cutter you can throw in there at 90 miles an hour, or a slider that will come in at about 85 and sweep across the plate. So very, very few pitchers on this JSU staff will throw a curveball that breaks up and down 12-6 or 11-4. (3-2) payoff pitch on its way. That one just missed for ball 4. So Jabronsky Williams is aboard with a base on balls, and he is the first base runner of the inning for the Hornets. Another look at this one. That one was just low, but not a bad place to miss. So 1 on, 2 outs. Here is Trenton Jamison, sophomore third baseman, who is 1 for 2 today. Luigs will go to first base, trying to keep Williams honest. First pitch to Jamison is called strike right down the middle. Jabronsky led Alabama State in stolen bases last year. Here's a called strike to Jamison. He's behind in the count 0-2. Jabronsky last year was 6 for 7 on stolen base attempts. A.J. Gardner was second to him, 4 for 5 in stolen bases, as he draws another throw over at first base, but dives back in safely. That's Luigs just letting him know, hey, I know you're over there. Here's the 0-2, fouled straight back. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at first base is the speedy Jabronsky Williams as he draws another throw over at first base. Shadows beginning to creep across Rudy Abbott Field. You can see that the first baseman and the runner at first are in the shadows. He takes off. Throw down from Webb is in time. He's caught stealing. And that'll do it for the Hornets in this inning. An unconventional 3 up, 3 down as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Jacksonville State leads this one 3-2 over Alabama State. Alex Webb, fantastic throw for the out.
Kids, become a member. Get an insurance.
We go to the bottom of the 5th inning in Jacksonville. The Gamecocks are leading Alabama State 3-2 and out-hitting the Hornets 6-5 thus far today. Jacksonville State will send Alex Webb, Alex Strachan, and Jalen Williams to the plate here in the bottom of the 5th frame. Alex Webb today is 1 for 2. He picked up his first hit of the season in his last at-bat in the 3rd inning, a 2-out single. He was stranded on at first base. Prior to that, he grounded out to third base back in the 1st inning. Fouled off toward the Jacksonville State dugout and out of play. The pitcher for Alabama State is Ricardo Rivera, who came on in relief of Jacknell Guzman back in the last inning. He threw a third of an inning, got the Hornets out of the dangerous frame as Webb pops this one up on the infield. It'll be called off by Jamison, the third baseman, and caught. And there's one away. You can see on the replay there, and you can also see it on the camera when we go back to live action, that shadows are beginning to get a little long on Rudy Abbott Field and beginning to creep across the infield. First base is completely in the shadows of the indoor hitting facility, and the entire first base line is shaded as well. So soon the delivery from the pitcher is going to be going in and out of the shadows, and it's going to make it tough for the hitters to pick up on pitches. Wind and deal to Alex Strachan, who takes the pitch for a ball, and he goes ahead in the count 2-0. Strachan is 1 for 2 today. Single and a strikeout so far. The base hit came in the 2nd. He came around to score, and then in the 3rd, he struck out. He takes a pitch here for a strike, and the count is 2-1 with 1 out. Wind and deal from Rivera. That one sent to the opposite way. Second base, picked up by Espinal, and on first for the out. And there's 2 down. A 4-3 put out in the scorebook for Alex Strachan. So kind of inside outs that one. Just below the barrel. Espinal makes quick work of it, and there's 2 down. Right-handed hitting Jalen Williams stands in now for Jacksonville State. 0 for 2 today. He's put the ball in the air twice, but both times it's been right to the center fielder Gardner. The 1-0 on its way. Off the plate for a ball. If he were to find a way to get on base, Derek Jackson awaits on deck for the Gamecocks. Lifted in the air, right field side, drifting, and that one out of play. Jacknell Guzman was the starting pitcher for Alabama State. The final line on him was 3 2/3, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. One of those runs came on a bases-loaded walk from Ricardo Rivera as he came in with the bases loaded. Walked the first batter he saw. That was Trey Kirkland, the leadoff hitter. He came on with him behind in the count already 1-0, but then was able to strike out Cole Frederick to get out of the inning with no more damage done. Lefty comes to the plate, and he will throw behind Jalen Williams, and Williams will get a free pass to first base. That one just got away from him, as you see him look at his hand after he lets that one go. Williams takes no offense to it and will trot down to first base. So with 1 on and 2 outs, here comes Derek Jackson, the Jacksonville State freshman. The rookie is 0 for 1 today. He walked and scored back in the second inning, and then in the fourth inning, grounded out to shortstop. He was 0 for 3 last night going into the seventh inning before he tattooed a double to left field that made it over the head of the SIU left fielder. Bounced all the way to the fence. And that was his first career hit. So he came into the game batting an even 200. As timeout is called at the plate by Jackson. The 1-0 from Rivera. Lifted in the air to right field, but an easy catch for Hearn, the right fielder, and that will do it for the Gamecocks in the fifth. We head to the top of the sixth. One-run game in Jacksonville. The Gamecocks lead it 3-2 over the Hornets.
Legends Bank. Member FDIC.
We head to the top of the sixth inning. Alex Luigs back out to work for Jacksonville State. He came on in relief of Dylan Hathcock to pitch the fifth inning and had a stellar first frame. No hits, no runs, no earned, with a walk and a pair of strikeouts against the 9, 1, and 2 spot hitters in the Alabama State order. He struck out Christopher De Guzman and Cameron Hearn. He walked Jabronsky Williams, but then Williams was caught stealing, trying to swipe second base on a fantastic throw from Alex Webb behind the plate. So Trenton Jamison, who was at the plate when Williams was caught stealing, will stand back in. He is 1 for 2 today. So the first pitch will miss high. And now, like we were talking about in that last half inning, how the shadows have begun to creep across Rudy Abbott Field. A little more worse now for the hitters as that ball is entering the shadow at about 3/4 to the plate. As you can see it there. That ball maybe spins 45 feet in the sun and the last 15 in the shadows. Jamison ahead the count 2-1 right now over Luigs. Ground ball towards shortstop. Isaac Alexander has it. Throw on to first in time for the out. And there's one away, a 6-3 putout of Jamison. Puts Goodwood on the ball. A roller to Isaac Alexander, who is one of the better defenders on this Jacksonville State team. And no mistake there. Makes the play. There's one away. Santiago Garcia, the junior designated hitter, due up now for the Hornets, who is 1 for 2 today. He doubled and scored back in the second and flying out to center field back in the fourth. Breaking ball, called a strike, inner half the plate, count even up 1-1. Isaac Alexander, the shortstop, and second baseman Cole Frederick, two of the more sure-handed defenders on the Jacksonville State team, as that's in there for a strike. Coach Case on Thursday was talking about how much confidence he has in those two guys. A couple of fifth-year guys up the middle. And then, of course, Trey Kirkland, who is awesome in center field, and he'll get a chance here as he turns his back to the infield. tracking toward right center field, comes back towards center just a bit and has it on the warning track, and there's 2 down. Speak of the devil. Kirkland has it go a long way to get to this one. You can see he's at the top of the U in center field, and with his back toward right field, has it all the way, and there's 2 down. Talking about a little bit last night, it's kind of hard to tell when you're close to the fence unless this is, of course, your home stadium, and you just kind of know how many steps you have until you get to the wall. Rudy Abbott Field for a long time was all grass and dirt, and then after the tornadoes in 2018 during the construction of Jim K. Stadium, they decided to make the baseball field completely turf as that pitch misses, and the count is even up 1-1 to Chris Lewis. For those of you who are big college baseball fans who have never been here, you can compare it to Hawkins Field up at Vanderbilt, as that one's fouled straight back. And the count goes to 1-2. The warning tracks are completely turf. The infield is completely turf, even down to the batter's boxes and the pitching rubber. You can see it sometimes on that high home view that the strip of turf where the pitcher lands is even turf as well. The ground ball to shortstop. Isaac Alexander makes the play, and there's 3 away. A 3-up, 3-down inning for Alex Luigs, and we head to the middle of the 6th. The Gamecocks still leading this one 3-2 over the Hornets.
It's worth protecting for as low as 33 cents a day. It's that simple. USAA. What's your
Bottom of the 6th inning in Jacksonville, Alabama. The Gamecocks coming to the plate. They'll send the 7, 8, and 9 spots to the plate. Carson Crowe will lead it off, followed by Isaac Alexander. And Nash Adams, the junior left fielder, will round out the bottom of the order. Gamecocks leading this one 3-2. 2 teams each scored in the 2nd. Alabama State drew first blood with a RBI single from A.J. Gardner that scored Santiago Garcia after he led off the inning with a double. Gamecocks came back and tied it up, and then later took the lead in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Isaac Alexander with 2 RBI singles scored Strachan and Derek Jackson. And then the Gamecocks took the lead in the 4th with an RBI single, rather an RBI bases loaded walk to Trey Kirkland. And right off the bat, Carson Crowe was plunked. So the Gamecocks will have their innings leadoff man aboard at first base. Another look at this one. That one got him kind of in the small of the back. It's the first Jacksonville State batter that's been hit by a pitch this season. So with Crowe aboard, here comes Isaac Alexander, who looks to throw down a bunt. Second time today, the Gamecocks have tried to bunt a ball down, but it's been fouled. Trey Kirkland tried it back in the 3rd inning. Alexander is 2 for 2 today. 2 RBI single back in the 2nd inning to put the Gamecocks up 2-1, and then singled in the 4th and later reached 3rd base before he was stranded. He was one of 3 guys left on base at the end of that 4th inning. Ricardo Rivera came on and picked up the final out of that frame on in relief of Jacknell Guzman, who went 3 2/3. Since then, Rivera's been pretty solid, despite walking the first man he faced that yielded a Jacksonville State run and put the Gamecocks up 3-2. Today he's gone 1 1/3, struck out 1, walked 2, and has yet to give up a hit. Alexander swings and fouls that one away. Out of play on top of the Jacksonville State indoor hitting facility. Count even up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Carson Crowe is on at first base. The 2-2 on its way. Alexander, dribbler toward third base, but it will roll foul. No wind as of now. His home plate is completely in the shadows, and here within about 15-20 minutes, the mound will be as well. Beginning to get a little cooler in Jim Case Stadium. The break even on its way. The setup was on the outside, but the pitch came inside, and Hunter May was a little crossed up by that one. Lucky that that one didn't get by him or just hit him in the chest. So Alexander works the count full at 3-2. And now Carson Crowe is picked off. 1, 3, 4. No, he's going to be called safe. He slides in safely. Holy cow, what a break for Jacksonville State. And now we're going to have the head coach of the Hornets, Jose Vasquez, come out and argue this one. You can see the tag, the umpires say missed him, and Carson Crowe slides back in, and the tag might have gotten him. It looked like Espinal, the Hornets' second baseman, may have got him before the hand made it back to the bag. They're going to call over the first base umpire to ask him about it as well, it looks like. Here's another look at it, this time from the third base camera. There's what they say is the missed tag, and now the slide back in. And that one's close. We might have to try to rewind that one to slow it down just a bit, but it's hard to tell if he gets the glove on him before he gets back to the bag or not, and this might not be good news for the Gamecocks, as now they're headed over to talk with head coach Jim Case about the play, possibly informing him that Crowe might be out. We'll see how this turns out. Here it is again. Slow it down right there. It looks to me like they might have the tag on him. And they will call him out. So after being hit by the pitch, he is picked off. And the pickoff will go 1, 3, 4 in the scorebook. As Lewis just barely missed the tag of him, the first baseman. But then Espinal gets the tag on him before he slides back in safely at first. And that'll be the first out of the inning. And Isaac Alexander will put some wood on this one, sends it toward right field. Giving chase is the right fielder Hearn, but it'll fall to the ground. Alexander will have second life. It's always tough if you're a runner at first base facing off against a left-handed pitcher, because as soon as the left-hander's right leg goes up, he can either come toward the plate or he can step toward first base, and if you jump too soon and that leg's in midair, then he can come just right to first base and have you picked off, and that's what happened to Carson Crowe. He made his decision to make a jump a little too early and was picked off. Isaac Alexander, though, will draw a walk on the 3-2 count, and he is the second base runner of the inning. There's one on with one out, and here's Nash Adams. Adams 0 for 1 today. He flied out to left field back in the second and walked and reached second back in the fourth inning. Alexander not a huge leadoff at first base as a strike is delivered down the middle to Adams. He only dances off of the bag whenever he knows that the pitcher Rivera has committed to the plate. The 0-1. Rivera will throw on to first to keep Alexander honest. Much easier to read a right-hander if you are standing at first base and looking to maybe get a little bit of an early jump or swipe second base, because all you have to do is watch for the lead leg. On the right-hander, it'll be the left. As soon as he picks it up, you can run. It's the right foot that you have to look for if he's trying to step off the back of the mound and throw to first. One ball and one strike, one out to Nash Adams, who has Isaac Alexander on at first base. Ground ball to shortstop. 6-4-3 goes the double play. Pitcher's best friend, and that'll do it for the Gamecocks here in this one. We go to the top of the 7th. Gamecocks still leading it 3-2 over the Hornets. A look at Alex Luigs, who's on for his 3rd inning of work for Jacksonville State in relief, looking to preserve a 3-2 JSU lead over the Alabama State Hornets. He's going to have to do it against the 6, 7, and 8 spots hitters in this frame. A.J. Gardner, Dylan Espinal, and Hunter May, the first 3 batters due up in the ASU order this time around. Luigs has been solid so far in relief of starting pitcher Dylan Hathcock. 2 innings, no hits, no runs, none earned, with a walk and 2 strikeouts. Dylan Hathcock had a good first outing of the season through just 4 innings, giving up 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, with a walk and 4 strikeouts. You can see there from the home plate camera that the mound and home plate all in the shadows now, so that makes it a little easier on the hitters at the plate to identify pitches. You don't have it going in and out of the daylight, the shadows. Didn't have to really battle that yesterday, as that pitch catches the inside part of the plate and count is even up 1-1. The Gamecocks and the Salukis last night, their first pitch was 6 p.m. Got a little chilly last night, got down into the mid-30s. So the 1-1 is swung on and missed, and the count goes to 1-2 against A.J. Gardner, who is 2 for 2 today. He's got a pair of singles and 2 RBIs to his credit today. 2nd and 4th innings for him have been fruitful. 1-2, swung on and missed for strike 3. Webb will corral it behind the plate and make the tag at Gardner, and there's 1 away. Gardner makes his way back to the dugout, and that is strikeout number 3 on the evening for Alex Luigs. For Jacksonville State, that's 7 strikeouts on the afternoon, combined with 4 from Dylan Hathcock. So with 1 out on the board, Dylan Espinal will stand in and take a first pitch strike from the Jacksonville State right-hander. Breaking ball for a strike there, and the count goes to 0-2. Luigs in his first season with Jacksonville State, 6'4", 200 right-hander from North Georgia, sends a ground ball towards second base, does Dylan Espinal, 4-3 on the putout, and there's 2 away. Luigs transferred from the University of North Georgia, spent 3 seasons with the Nighthawks, made 50 career appearances as he gets a ground ball out here. And he is cruising in his 3rd full inning of relief for Jacksonville State in his JSU debut. No outs, or correction, 2 outs on the board. Hunter May coming to the plate. The junior catcher is 0 for 2 today. Struck out back in the 2nd. And flying out to right field back in the 4th as he fouls that one away. Luigs, the reliever from Jacksonville State, played his high school ball at Richmond Hill High School in Richmond Hill, Georgia. The 1-1 break even misses. That's down in the Savannah, Georgia area. He was named the 2016 Region 3 Pitcher of the Year and was a first-team All-Region selection, first-team All-Greater Savannah selection as well. Three balls and a strike here to Hunter May. Nobody on, 2 outs. Pitch on the way from the right-hander, lifted in the air, foul, and that one's going to be way out of play over near the ticket booth. Yikes, heads up. (3-2) payoff pitch on its way to the plate from Luigs. That one misses off the plate, high and away, and a free pass to Hunter May as he's patient at the plate, battles off on some pitches, and it pays off for him. He's on at first with 2 outs. So with 2 outs and 1 runner on, Christopher de Guzman is due up at the plate for Alabama State. 0 for 2 today, a line out to third base back in the third. It was a hard shot that found Jalen Williams standing in the right place at the right time, and then he struck out in the 5th. Lifted in the air to center field. Trey Kirkland will come in just a bit and make the catch. And that's the 3rd out of the inning. A fly out to center field will end the top of the 7th. It's stretch time in Jacksonville. The Gamecocks lead this one 3-2. Seventh inning stretch in Jacksonville. The Gamecocks lead Alabama State 3-2, out hitting the Hornets 6-5 thus far today. Both teams put up a number on the board in the 2nd inning. Both teams with 1 run in the 4th. Jacksonville State tied up the game 3-3, and then a go-ahead walk with the bases loaded put the Gamecocks up 3-2 in the 4th inning. No runs for either team in the 6th. No runs for Alabama State in the top of the 7th. And the Hornets will stick with reliever Ricardo Rivera, who has been great out of the bullpen for the Hornets. So far, he's thrown 2 1/3, has yet to give up a hit to the Gamecocks, walking 3 and striking out 1, as he will face the top of the order with Trey Kirkland due up first for Jacksonville State. Kirkland will be followed by Cole Frederick and Alex Webb, the 1, 2, and 3 spot hitters due up for Jacksonville State, as that one runs inside and will hit Trey Kirkland. That's the 2nd hit batsman in as many innings for Jacksonville State. As Kirkland is plunked on an off-speed pitch, looked like a breaking ball, definitely not something malicious. As that one looks like it just caught the meat of the back of the leg. And Kirkland trots down to first base. Leadoff man on, and here's Cole Frederick, who is still looking for his first hit of the afternoon. 0 for 3. Grounded out to the pitcher in the 1st inning, flying out to right field in the 3rd, and then struck out back in the 4th inning as he's hit by the pitch this time. And that was a fastball that ran high and inside, and maybe caught him just on the forearm. As you see, he throws up the hands kind of in defense. Another look at that one. I know, he actually went behind him. That's a breaking ball that went behind him. And so now there will be some action in the Alabama State bullpen, as that is 3 hit batsmen in the past 2 innings. That puts Trey Kirkland at second base and Cole Frederick at first base, with 3-spot hitter Alex Webb at the plate, and he takes a first pitch strike. Webb 1 for 3 today. He singled back in the 3rd inning. He shows bunt, pulls back, and it's called a ball off the plate, and the count even up at 1-1. Webb, a rough outing last night, was 0 for 4, but walked and scored a run. Today has his first hit of the season, a single in the 3rd. Since then, he has popped out to third base. The 1-1, and instead Rivera will turn and look to second base to make sure that Kirkland isn't going anywhere. Frederick is at first base. See Kirkland sneak into your screen. The 1-1, and Webb takes high and off the plate. Webb, the Jacksonville State senior catcher. Aspirations of making it to the big leagues someday. He was one of those guys that was greatly affected by the COVID-19 crisis last year when the season was called short. He fouls that one straight back, and that one caught a piece of either the catcher Hunter May or the home plate umpire Michael Kelly. Whenever the season was called short last year, he had to make the difficult decision of if he wanted to come back to school and try to compete for another year with Jacksonville State, or to go ahead and declare for the Major League Baseball draft. Instead, decided to come back and work on completing his master's. He lifts a ball here out of play and on top of the porch over in foul territory in right field. Webb has had a fantastic career with Jacksonville State, a career .302 hitter, 308 total at-bats for Jacksonville State. He's played in 77 games. That's second most behind just Cole Frederick, who's played in 130. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch misses off the plate. He goes ahead in the count 3-2. Webb earned the everyday starting job at catcher whenever Nick Gaddis graduated from Jacksonville State at the end of the 2019 season. Gaddis, of course, one of the 4 former Gamecocks playing professional baseball right now. Gaddis in the New York Mets organization as a catcher. Gaddis also played some first base at Jacksonville State, in which Alex Webb would catch Gaddis would play some third base. And whenever he was playing the hot corner, Alex Webb would catch. 3 balls and 2 strikes, no outs, runners at first and second. Payoff pitch to Webb, ripped into right field. Trey Kirkland will round third. He is headed for home. Going to third base is Cole Frederick, and that's an RBI single for Alex Webb, his second hit of the day. He gets a ball down the heart of the plate, rips it into right field, didn't try to do too much with it. Trey Kirkland motors around from second to score, and Cole Frederick goes corner to corner and is at third base now. And it doesn't get any easier for Ricardo Rivera, as now he'll have to face the cleanup hitter Alex Strachan. And Strachan is 1 for 3 today. He singled and scored back in the second inning. Struck out in the third, and then was out on a 4-3 putout in the fifth. They ground out to second base. Strachan 1 for 3 last night as well. Will stand in with runners on the corners and no outs as he takes a first pitch ball off the plate. Pitcher warming up in the bullpen for Alabama State. A right-hander. Appears to be number 35, Ryan Velasquez. And now a trip to the mound for pitching coach Matt Crane. Crane, May, and Rivera socially distancing on the mound. Crane wears a neck gaiter as he goes out to talk with the battery. Hunter May wears a neck gaiter as well. As now May will head back to behind the plate. Matt Crane will retreat to the dugout. And we go back to action. Ball and no strikes to Strachan as he stands back in. Rivera comes set and will come to the plate. And it's a ball off the plate outside. That one in there at 84 miles an hour. Two balls, no strikes. Lifted in the air, deep to center field, giving chase is Gardner, and he will make the catch. But it'll go down as a sacrifice hit as Jacksonville State will score on the out. Cole Frederick will trot in easily from third base and become the second run of the inning for Jacksonville State, extending their lead to 5-2 over the Hornets. Alex Webb hangs up at first base, can't advance. And that is a sacrifice fly to center and an RBI for Alex Strachan. The second sacrifice hit of the year for the Gamecocks. Carson Crow had a sacrifice fly last night that plated a run. That's the first out of the inning, and now here's Jalen Williams to try his hand with a runner at first base and one down. Lifted in the air, center field again. Gardner, plenty of time to camp out under this one, makes the catch. And there's two down, F8 in the scorebook for Williams. So two quick outs for Ricardo Rivera, who had gotten into a little bit of trouble. He's allowed 2 runs to score. Trey Kirkland and Cole Frederick, the two leadoff hitters that were both hit by pitches, come around to score. And doesn't it seem like every time you either walk a leadoff hitter or hit them by a pitch, they're going to come back to bite you? That's just what happens with Kirkland and Frederick. Rookie Derek Jackson stands in now for Jacksonville State. Takes the first pitch strike, and the count is 0-1 against him with 2 outs. Alex Webb on at first base with the RBI single. He called strike, and the count goes to 0-2. Jackson looking for his first hit of the afternoon. Takes that one for a ball. He walked back in the second inning. Grounded out to short in the fourth, and then in the fifth, flying out to right field. The 1-2 from Rivera, lifted in the air to left field. Giving chase is Williams. He will catch it shy of the warning track, and that will do it for the Gamecocks in the inning, but not before they plate 2 more runs. Jacksonville State extends its lead to 3. It's 5-2 in Jacksonville at Jim K. Stadium.
This is the best of the how good is this kid?
We head to the 8th inning in Jacksonville, where the Gamecocks lead Alabama State 5-2. And there's a new pitcher in the game for Jacksonville State. It's going to be Corley Woods, wearing number 16, the senior right-hander. He was someone that Jacksonville State wanted to use yesterday. Head coach Jim Case had hoped to use him as the closer, but things got a little out of hand early, and the Gamecocks trailed for the remainder of the game and eventually fell 8-7 in that one. So Woods did not get a chance to go in yesterday, but he's going to get his chance today against Alabama State. Woods finishing up his warm-up tosses, and we take a look at his career stats. He's 9-4-3 overall in his career, 9 wins, 4 losses, and 3 saves. Woods was named to the National Collegiate Baseball Writer Association's preseason Stopper of the Year watch list before this year started. Last year, he was 1-2 with a save in 7 appearances, 17 innings pitched. Allowed just 3 runs, 2 of them earned, walking 3 while striking out 10. He comes in here in the top of the 8th and will face the top of the Alabama State order with Cameron Hearn due up first. And the count is 1-2 to Hearn. Hearn, Jabronsky Williams, and Trent Jamison are the first 3 batters due up for the Hornets in the 8th, as Hearn has worked a 2-2 count. Off the plate and away. Now the count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hearn is looking for his first hit of the day. He struck out twice and grounded out once. Ground ball to shortstop this time. Alexander picks and throws, double clutches, but has enough time, and there's one away. A 6-3 put out in books. It's a hard ground ball, but as we talked about, Isaac Alexander, some of the softest hands on the team. Throw on the scratching, and there's one down. Jabronsky Williams will stand in now. He's reached base twice today, but is still over in the scorebook. He walked in the first inning, walked in the 5th, and struck out in the 3rd. He's been an out every time he's come to the plate, though, as he fouls that one away, as he's been caught stealing twice. He was the 2nd out of the 1st inning, caught trying to steal second base. And then he was the 3rd out of the 5th inning, caught trying to steal second again. So today, Alex Webb, the senior catcher for Jacksonville State, is 2 for 2 in stolen base attempts. Two-one on its way, lifted in the air. That one's a deep fly ball to right field. Crow will go back and have to watch it fly over the fence. Jabronsky Williams with a home run for the Alabama State Hornets. It's the first run that Alabama State has plated since the top of the 4th inning. He gets a pitch he can drive off of Corley Woods. That pitch on the inner half of the plate. Throws the barrel of the bat at it and sends it over, and Corley, not the welcome that he wanted, coming out of the bullpen for Jacksonville State. Jabronsky led the Hornets in home runs last season with 3. He has his first home run of the season this year in game number 1. So with 1 out on the board, Woods will now face Trenton Jamison. And he quickly goes ahead in the count, 1-2. Jamison is 1 for 3 today. Singled and scored back in the 4th here. He sends a ground ball to second. Pick and throw by Cole Frederick. And a 4-3 put out in the scorebook. There's 2 away. So Corley Woods looking to get out of the inning, despite the hiccup throw to Jabronsky Williams that resulted in a solo home run. He's going to have to try to do it against Santiago Garcia, the junior designated hitter, batting in the cleanup spot for Alabama State as that one is fouled away. A number of these Alabama State batters, including Santiago Garcia, wear the C-flap on their helmet. That is the face guard that comes off of the earpiece and covers the jaw, as Alexander will bobble that one over at shortstop and still has time to throw out. Santiago Garcia, what a throw from deep into the shortstop hole. 6-3 goes the put out, and that'll do it for the Hornets in the inning. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Jacksonville State leads this one 5-3.
The Epsom Eagles.
We head to the bottom of the 8th inning, and a new pitcher into the game for the Hornets is going to be number 35, Ryan Velasquez, a right-hander from Puerto Rico, 6'4", 215-pound junior. Will get his first chance at the Gamecocks today as he finishes up his warm-up tosses on the mound before we begin this bottom of the 8th frame. Velasquez last year, a 12.15 ERA, 1-1 record. He appeared in 5 games and started 1. He threw a total of 3.2 innings. I'm sorry, 6.2 innings, 6 2/3 innings for the Hornets last year. 9 hits, 12 runs, 9 earned with 10 walks and just 3 strikeouts. He allowed 4 extra base hits, 3 of them doubles, and 1 triple. He led the team in wild pitches with 4. He'll face the bottom part of the order, the bottom third. Carson Crowe, Isaac Alexander, and Nash Adams due up for Jacksonville State as the first pitch is 93 miles an hour. It's the fastest one we've seen today. He puts it in there for a ball. Carson Crowe, the batter, pinch hitter for Carson Crowe. Instead of Crowe hitting, it's number 15, Tanner Anderson, the junior outfielder, who will stand in and bat in place of Crowe. And as an outfielder, we'll see if he stays in place of Crowe defensively. Off the bat to first base. 3 unassisted in the scorebook as Anderson is retired. And there's 1 away. So Anderson is retired in his pinch hitting role for Carson Crowe. That was his first at-bat of the season. He grounds out to the first baseman Lewis. There's 1 away, and now Isaac Alexander will bat for Jacksonville State. As he takes a first pitch strike. That one, 94 on the gun. So Velasquez is bringing the heat. The 0-1 on its way. Line drive towards second base. That's off the glove of Espinal. He recovers and throws on to first. Not in time, though, as Isaac Alexander will leg that one out. A shot toward second base, and that one just misplayed a bit as it looked like it was cutting away from Espinal. And then he throws on to first, and it's not in time. He couldn't recover fast enough, and I would imagine you have to give the second baseman an error, and that is what Tony Schmidt, the SID for Jacksonville State, does. An E4 in the scorebook as Alexander reaches. That's the first time he's been in the scorebook retired, as that does not go down as a hit and goes against your batting average. He singled in back-to-back at-bats in the 2nd and 4th and then walked in the 6th, and now he reaches on an error. So he's been on base all 4 times today. And now Nash Adams will step to the plate in search of his first hit of the afternoon. 0-1 on its way. A fastball that misses low and away, 92 miles per hour. That one in the left-hander's batter's box is Isaac Alexander. You see the first base umpire beside Isaac. And that's what it is. The first base umpire was calling for Coach Jim Case to put a helmet on the third base line. Coach Case had gotten out of the dugout with his hat on rather than his helmet. And Alexander and the first base umpire, Larry Short, have a laugh over that one. And now we go back to action. 1-1 count with one out to Nash Adams. Ground ball up the middle. That one's going to get past the diving shortstop De Guzman and get out into center field. And a base hit for Nash Adams. That's his first of the afternoon. A fastball down the heart of the plate that Adams sends right back up the middle. Adams is now 1 for 3 on the afternoon with a single and a walk. And now we head to the top of the order, where Trey Kirkland will stand in, and he'll bat for the 5th time today. Pitch on the way from Velasquez. Swung on and missed for strike one. Kirkland today has 2 official at-bats in the book. He grounded out in the first and singled in the third, but since then has walked and been hit by a pitch. He also scored a run back in the 7th when he was walked in. Pitch misses low for a ball, and the count even up at 1 ball and 1 strike. The book is closed on Ricardo Rivera, who had a good outing out of the bullpen in relief of Jacknell Guzman. We'll give you the break-even pitch here. They say that Kirkland went around. I wouldn't mind seeing that one more time as the count goes to 1-2. And Jim Case is not happy about it either. Does he attempt to swing? No, he holds up. Jim Case not happy about that call, nor are the fans at Jim Case Stadium. Trey Kirkland will take him in and outside of the box and now stand back in with a 1-2 count. 1 out, runners at first and second. Pitch on the way from Velasquez. Catcher wants it high, and it misses, and the count even up 2-2. We were talking about Ricardo Rivera, who was good out of the bullpen for Alabama State. He went 3 1/3, gave up just 1 hit with 2 runs, both earned, while walking 3 and striking out 1. Some good middle inning relief from the left-hander gives way to the right-hander Velasquez. The 2-2, a fastball that misses low, and I don't know that Velasquez has thrown a pitch that's been sub 90 miles an hour so far. This is the most he's labored against a batter so far for the 4 that he's faced. A payoff pitch on its way. Sent toward the first base side. 3 and 6 goes the put out at second base. They get at least 1 out of the play, but based on that throw from Lewis, I was afraid that they weren't going to get any. But a fantastic stop by Lewis. That'll go down as a 3-6 fielder's choice as Kirkland reaches first, and Nash Adams is out at second base on the play. And that'll be out number 2 of the inning. And now Cole Frederick will stand in. Isaac Alexander on the play, though, will go from second to third. He moves up 90 feet and is in scoring position, just 90 feet from home plate. Adams is out at second, and Trey Kirkland is on at first base on the fielder's choice. And an 0-1 count is issued to Cole Frederick, the Jacksonville State junior second baseman. 2 outs, runners on the corners for the Gamecocks. And Fredericks puts this one into play. Right side. Under it to make the catch is Hearn, and that will do it for the Gamecocks in the inning. They will strand a couple of runners as we head to the 9th inning Jacksonville State looking to defend a 5-3 lead over the Hornets. We head to the 9th inning in Jacksonville in a safe situation for the closer Corley Woods as he's on for his second inning of relief for Jacksonville State. The Gamecocks lead this one by 2, 5-3, as the Hornets will send the heart of their order, the 5, 6, and 7 spots to the plate. Chris Lewis, A.J. Gardner, and Dylan Espinal are the three hitters that Corley Woods will have to face if he hopes to pick up his first save of the season. As we mentioned when he entered the game, he was named to the National Collegiate Baseball Writer Association's preseason Stopper of the Year watch list. He made 7 appearances on the mound out of the bullpen last year, picking up a win against EIU, their only win of conference play when the Gamecocks went 1-2 against the Panthers. He tossed 3 innings in that one, including 2 strikeouts. And Woods has faced Alabama State before as he throws a first pitch strike to Chris Lewis. He's appeared in 3 games against Alabama State over his career, 1 in 17, 1 in 18, 1 in 19. He threw 1 inning each. In 17 and 18, yielded no hits, no runs, and struck out 1 each. So he deals a ball off the plate here for a 1-2 count. He was tagged for 4 runs on 4 hits, while walking 1 and striking out 1 in 2019, though, as the Hornets enjoyed some success on him as Chris Lewis pulls that one foul. And that is not what the Gamecocks want if they are to hold on in this one. Woods in his career, 113 and 1/3 innings pitched for Jacksonville State. You can make it 114 with his inning prior as he gets a ground ball to second here. Fredericks on to first for the out, and that's the first out of the 9th inning. 4-3 goes the put out in the scorebook. We mentioned earlier that as we take another look at this ground out, pulled toward the right side and routine play for Cole Frederick, the junior second baseman. Carson Crowe was pinch hit for back in the bottom of the 8th inning by Tanner Anderson. And Anderson does indeed stay in the game and play right field in place of Carson Crowe. So Crowe's day is done. Now A.J. Gardner will stand in for the Hornets here in the 9th inning. Swing and miss at a pitch on the inner half of the plate, 83 miles per hour on the gun. The sophomore center fielder is 2 for 3 today, has enjoyed a nice day at the plate. He singled and drove in a run back in the 2nd and did the exact same thing in the 4th. He struck out in the 7th. It was the first time he was retired today. The 1-2 misses low for a ball, and the count even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dylan Espinal, the junior second baseman, awaits on deck to hit. Woods gets another ground ball to second. An inside-out swing from A.J. Gardner. 4-3 put out yet again. And the Gamecocks are 1 out away from their first win of the season. Gardner makes his way back to the dugout after getting a pitch relatively down the middle. Might have extended the hands just a little too much and missed the barrel of the bat. Got it a little closer to the handle and fought it off to the right side. So with 2 down, here's Dylan Espinal. Espinal looking for his first hit of the afternoon. He goes ahead in the count 2-0. Flying out to center back in the 2nd inning. Lined out to third base back in the 4th. And then grounded out 4-3 to the second baseman back in the 7th inning. Jalen Williams robbed him of a hit back in the 4th inning. saved extra bases and some runs. That last strike call, Alabama State head coach Jose Vasquez was not a fan of, coming down the line to tell the home plate umpire Michael Kelly that is not a strike. Come on now. The 1-2 is fouled back, straight back into the glove, and the count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gamecocks looking to even up their record at 1-1. And a walk is issued there. Dylan Espinal is aboard a base on balls. So Corley Woods has a runner to deal with now over at first base. With 2 outs, here comes Hunter May, the junior catcher for the Hornets. He talks himself through his pre-at-bat and will now stand in on the right side. He takes a first pitch strike on the inner half of the plate and shakes his head as he walks out of the batter's box. He's 0 for 2 today. He walked back in the 7th inning, but prior to that had struck out and flied out. He fouls that one off of himself. And Alex Webb asks for a new baseball to give to Corley Woods. Woods from Alexander City, Alabama. Played his high school ball at Benjamin Russell High School. The 0-2 misses high. For those of you that don't know the name Benjamin Russell, I'm sure you've seen Russell athletic wear that many colleges, especially those the size of Jacksonville State, wore back in the 90s and 2000s. And that's where it comes from, Alexander City, Alabama. Jacksonville State, of course, a Adidas school nowadays. And so is Alabama State. That pitch is just off the plate outside. That was a little bit of a slider that appeared to start off on the inner half of the plate and broke away. And now for the second batter in a row, a full count. Runner on the move, called strike 3. Hunter May will go down looking. Corley Woods will pick up the save in his first opportunity this year. Jacksonville State will move to 1-1 on the season. Alabama State is 0-1 on opening day. The Gamecocks, with that strikeout, will see the reliever Alex Luigs pick up the win. That'll do it for us here in Jacksonville. I am Tyler Brown saying so long, where the final score is Jacksonville State 5, Alabama State 3. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.